I love the story that you shared in the book about Fred Pal Barger and his training approach and how that led to greater role clarity.
Yeah. So if you live in a very specific part of kind of Appalachia, Southern Appalachia, like Eastern Tennessee, and then into that area, you may have been to a Powell's Sudden Service, which is a fast food chain, mostly drive-through fast food chain that is honestly per square footage and per customer reviews and what have you, the most successful fast food chain in the world. Powell's is actually the first and the only fast food, but the first restaurant to have won a Malcolm Baldrige Quality Award for the quality of their service. Their error rate in terms of what you order being what you get is something like 1 in 3,600. Right
Wow.
now, McDonald's, for comparison, is like 1 in 300, and honestly, for me, it feels like 1 in 2. But that's a whole other monologue, right? And the reason they do this is they're committed to this clarity side, right? So if you're thinking about, you're just working in a drive-through restaurant, but before you set foot in that restaurant, you've actually received 80 hours of training ahead of time, right? So think about 2 weeks if you're thinking about a full-time job, more because most of their people are part-time. You've received that much training ahead of time. There's 8 different stations inside of the drive-through store, and you're usually trained on 2 or 3 of them. As you get into more management roles, you're trained on all of them because you can't manage what you don't know, right? And then to reinforce and the other thing I think is really interesting is usually from day to day, in order to keep your knowledge fresh on all of them, it's not like you're great at this station, so we're going to keep putting you on this station. You kind of get randomized based on who else is on the team and what have you, and what role you're going to be at. So you always have to be on your toes. You don't know till you show up for your shift what your job is actually going to be. You may also get the pop quiz. So at a regular basis, they get team members. They start their shift and they're given a pop quiz, which is just process knowledge. How do you do this? How many squirts of ketchup go on this burger? And all of these different questions. And what I love about the pop quiz, by the way, cheating is encouraged. In other words, if you don't know the answer, go find someone else on the team who can help you get that answer, because that's just as valuable to your learning as anything. It's not about the score, it's about
That collaborative team culture, right? Right.
Exactly, exactly. Now, my absolute favorite thing about the way they work this is that everybody's so committed to clarity and so committed to this training and continuous development that every leader at every level has to spend 10% of their time, including the CEO, has to spend 10% of their time developing or giving training or developing employees in some capacity. So you never earn your way out of a training role. You are always seeking to pour into whoever's kind of underneath you. And what that does, you might think that actually degrades people. You might think it actually makes people feel like cogs in a finely tuned machine. But the truth is, it actually increases engagement because people know exactly what's expected of them. They have confidence that they can deliver on what's expected of them. And they have trust that the other people on the line, the other people working in that restaurant, are also going to perform at that level. And that's something that's really, really hard to replicate. It's one of the reasons their error rate is so low. Their revenue per square foot is so high. My favorite, by the way, my favorite stat about them is your perfect order, between order and when you drive away from the window, your perfect order will be delivered in about 19 seconds. That's faster than it takes to sing happy birthday.